Wait, so what am I known for here on YouTube as a fragrance reviewer? Let's see, I do a lot of top 10s, I do a lot of buying guide videos, I do a good amount of first impressions on new, exciting, popular fragrances, but what else? What am I missing out on? That's right, everyone's favorite, these little tips and tricks, these hack style videos. So admittedly, I don't do these types of videos as much anymore, as you guys have probably noticed, but I actually have a whole playlist dedicated to stuff like this. I believe that playlist is titled Fragrance Hacks or something like that, or Fragrance Tips and Tricks or something like that. I could be completely wrong, but essentially one thing that I do like to focus on, or at least I did more so in the past, was bring to you guys just some different style videos like this one, where I would go over some hacks, some tips and tricks to get the most out of your fragrance, and just some general tips that I've learned over the past years of doing this. You wouldn't think that there's much more to fragrance than buying it and spraying it on, but there's actually quite a few tips and tricks that you can learn over the years as you kind of progress through this hobby, and that's kind of what I try to share with these types of videos. And look, you may look at this video and the title and think that it is absolute top level cringe, but to be honest, when I go through my comments, the majority of what I see is based around compliments. How to get more compliments, what fragrances work good for compliments. Let's be real, that's what 90% of the people get into this hobby for. And now that the world is maybe somewhat starting to get back to normal, people are starting to shift back towards that again. They're starting to dive back into fragrances and into colognes so that they can get attention from people around them. And because I know so many of you guys are compliment focused, today I'm going to be going over 7 fragrance hacks that you can do to maximize the amount of compliments that you get from your scents. So first thing you got to do is you have to spray more. This is a big one, and this is key. A lot of people, especially if you're first getting into fragrances, will kind of go a little bit light on the amount of sprays that they apply when they're leaving in the morning. And look, I completely understand why. You don't want to be that cologne guy. You don't want to be the guy who has, 20 sprays of some sort of body spray smelling cologne on and have everyone around you just looking at you and whispering to their friends and just overall kind of being just one of those types of guys. You don't want to be that, so I get it. But you have to understand that there is a fine line you have to follow, and really, it may not be as hard as you would think. To really be the cologne guy, you would have to go obnoxious with your sprays, at least with most colognes out there. Sure, there are some very strong ones where you would have to go with less, but in most situations, you would have to be doing just a ton of sprays, and we don't need to do that here for this video. If you normally do 2 or 3 sprays and you find that you're not really getting noticed, you're not getting compliments, try bumping it up to 4 or 5. Even those extra couple of sprays can make a big difference. And again, this is something that happens when you're newer to colognes, and I was the same way. I was very conservative with my sprays when I first started, but I'm to the point now where I will spray on a good 7-8 sprays of my favorite scent and hit the road and not feel, insecure or anything at all. I don't care. People think it's too strong. Cool, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. You just have to get to the point where you're comfortable with wearing more sprays, and that just takes time. The second thing you can do to maximize your compliments is combine your fragrance with a body wash or a deodorant. So this is something that I've just been getting into recently, and that is these fragrance deodorants and even the hair and body shampoos, like this Versace Pour Homme hair and body shampoo. So this stuff is pretty cool. I got it off of Fragrance Net. The cap just unscrews, and then it is just simply a gel. Smells just like Versace Pour Homme, and when I was showering with this and you start lathering it up and you get some warm water on it, the scent comes alive even more, and it smells so good. I mean, the whole bathroom smelled like Versace Pour Homme. My skin smelled amazing after it, and I'm going to be using this stuff a lot. I'm very impressed with it, and yes, it is kind of wet and looks a little bit weird because it was in my shower, because I do use this stuff. This is a great way to give yourself an added boost in terms of scent. So if you are going to go out and wear Versace Pour Homme or Chanel Allure Homme Sport or even Creed Aventus or even any other fragrance that will kind of match with this, which a lot would, you can wear this and it gives you that added boost. And if you want to go even further, you can pair that with a deodorant. Now this is Versace Dylan Blue. I don't have Versace Pour Homme deodorant yet, but the Dylan Blue deodorant does work and smell great. I've used this one quite a bit. I'm not going to show you it because that's kind of gross because I have used it. So I'm not going to show you it with the cap off. That would be weird, but I have used it. It does work great. It smells fantastic, and yeah, it does smell a lot like Dylan Blue. So imagine if you layer all of these together and you stick with one scent, Versace Pour Homme, you use the Eau de Toilette spray, you use the deodorant, you use the body wash, you're going to be radiating this ultra sexy smell, and it's going to give you that boost you need without necessarily having to spray more. You know, you're just naturally going to smell stronger because of all of the other things that you're using on your body here. Third thing you can do to get the most out of your fragrance and to maximize your compliments is apply your scent to exposed pulse points. So you hear about pulse points all the time, right? You got them on your neck, you got them on your wrists, and so on. However, I'm going a step further and saying exposed pulse points and pulse points that are more within line of people's nose. You know, a lot of people will say, yeah, spray the back of your wrist. You know, you got those veins running through there, a lot of heat that will generate, that's fine. But most of the time throughout the day, you're going to be walking probably, so your arms are going to be down by your side. Now, people should not be having their head down by your arms when you're walking through the street. So if you think about it, why would that make any sense to spray your arms, walk like this, and expect to get compliments? That just doesn't work. So what I'm telling you here, if you're not picking up on what I'm putting down, spray your neck. This is the #1 spot that you should spray. That's where I apply my fragrance all the time. And that's because your neck area is going to be in the general region of most people's head and nose, right? That way, it'll make it easier for them to smell it. You could spray the front of your neck, the sides of your neck, and the back of your neck. I do all of the above. Fourth thing you can do to maximize the amount of compliments you get is choose the right scent. And there's 2 parts to this. One, make sure you're choosing a fragrance that is mass appealing. So you don't want to go with something that is maybe a bit older school or something along those lines where it just doesn't have that mass appeal. This is another one of those things with time and experience. You will be able to pick out a scent and kind of have a pretty good idea if it's going to be something that gets compliments. And again, that's something that comes after smelling a lot of different things. Or if you don't want to go through the process yourself, just look up any top 10 most complimented videos. I've done multiple on my channel. Plenty of other people have done these style of videos, and that's going to give you a really good starting point of what does actually work. The second part of this tip is you want to make sure you're choosing something that is appropriate for the situation. So Versace Eros to the office or to work, maybe not the best idea. Versace Eros to a party or a club, that's more like it. You can't just grab any random fragrance and spray it on heavily and then expect you're going to be rolling in the compliments. It's got to work. It's got to be appropriate, especially when going to work. You don't want anything that's going to be too loud, too sweet, and too overbearing. And it's the same with if you're attending school as well. Fifth thing you can do to get the most out of your fragrance and get the most compliments is to wear it with confidence. This is simply one of the best tips and tricks and hacks I can offer you is you have to carry yourself with confidence. You know, if you're wearing a fragrance that smells fantastic, let's just use the basic of the basic, Dior Sauvage. Look, it's popular. Look, everyone wears it, but we know that it is proven to get compliments. So if you're wearing that and you're just kind of in the corner, just, you know, kind of as I'm tripping over stuff on my floor, just kind of, you know, like this, and maybe you're kind of like this and kind of sitting there, people look at you and you go like that, you know what I mean? That's not going to work. First of all, no one's going to want to approach you and tell you that you smell good and start up a conversation if you're all like this. Second thing is they may not even know that that smell is coming from you. If they see a guy that's kind of sitting there like this and, you know, and oh, no eye contact, or they see a guy who's just standing there with open body language like this, which guy do you think the woman is going to think smells good? Where does she think that that smell is going to be coming from? Probably the guy who is not all closed off and shy. It's the guy who's standing there with open body language, ready to socialize. So you have to be that guy who is ready to socialize with open body language so you can be approached to get complimented. You know, you got to think, for a woman to come out of her way, especially a stranger, to compliment you, that's something that not everyone is going to be comfortable with. So you have to be open and inviting and be accepting for these types of interactions. And if you're closed off, it's never going to happen no matter what fragrance you're wearing. So you have to get that through your head. One of the most important things, just wear it with confidence and the rest will come a lot easier. Sixth thing you can do to get the most compliments out of your scent is use a base layer. So let me grab something. Something like this right here, Molecule 2 by Eccentric Molecules. You can also go with Molecule 1. This one is Ambroxan. Molecule 1 is ISO-E Super. Use this first before you apply your scent. So it's very simple. Do a spray there, spray there. Just let it dry down. You don't have to let it dry for approximately 7.5 minutes, and then you can apply your scent. Nothing scientific, nothing too crazy here. Come on. Just spray it on, let it settle for a second, and then go ahead and apply your fragrance of choice that you're going to go out with. Now, you don't have to apply your fragrance of choice over where you sprayed this. You can if you want, and it's not going to affect or hurt anything, but you can apply it elsewhere as well. Essentially what you're trying to do is just get the two mixed together. This Molecule 2, this Ambroxan, is of course Ambroxan. That's a great aroma chemical that is in a lot of compliment getting fragrances. So being able to push out this extra Ambroxan smell along with the scent that you're wearing is going to help achieve some more compliments. It's going to help turn some more heads. And my seventh tip for you to maximize the amount of compliments that you get from your fragrance is simply to not sweat it. Just don't worry too much about it. I've found for me personally that, the times that I have been complimented on my scent were times when I weren't even thinking about it. If you're just sitting there stressing before you go out the door, ooh, what can I wear? I want to get compliments. A lot of times you're going to overthink it to the point where it may not even happen. You just have to go into it with an open mind and just be less critical about it. Grab something, spray it on, carry yourself with confidence, and the rest will come naturally. That's another one of my biggest tips for you and one of the bigger takeaways in this video. Just don't sweat it too much. Not everyone is going to compliment you. Again, you have to make sure you have that open body language, but even if you do, some people just aren't comfortable about it. But just because you aren't getting compliments, the main thing you have to think of is people probably are smelling you and they're thinking in your head, oh, that guy smells really good. They just don't want to say anything. And that's one thing that will probably really help boost your confidence, is knowing that people probably think you do smell good. They're just not saying anything for whatever reason. So don't sweat it too much. That's going to do it for me, guys. That was another one of these hacks or tips or tricks videos. I know these are kind of, some people can do without them and they'd rather have the standard style videos, but I do like to throw these in every now and then to help some of you out who do have interest in this. Let me know some of your tips and tricks down below. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know by leaving a like, and then also comment, what types of videos related to this that you want to see. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.